Hey everybody, it's Typical Wrestling, and we have another episode of Monday Night Raw in the long-awaited, long-overdue TEW series. I keep saying that, but I don't know when upload. Like, I just uploaded today, so I guess it's not long overdue. Whatever. Monday Night Raw, Fallout, King of the Ring, awesome. This Monday Night Raw, hopefully awesome. And we're in the Ace M. Munford Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And before we begin to kick off the show, we have a little dark match here for some WWE Dark. We stole it from AEW, even though it's, like 6 years early. We have a four-way tag team match. The Dragon Aces, Crime Time, Blonde Disorder versus the Young Bucks. And Dragon Aces pick up the win when they defeat the Young Bucks with the roundhouse kick. Young Bucks, obviously, new signing. They still got to get over. They're still in the opener section. So before we can put them on the big show, we got to get them some, give them some proper exposure. Some proper, kind of leverage there. I thought about putting on the main show, but it didn't work out in the end. But we're gonna open up the actual Monday Night Raw with. Hold on, I didn't even realize we had a gimmick thing. Oh yeah, let's change his gimmick. Average, fuck you. So we have, trying to see anything, Randy Orton invented a new catchphrase apparently in this segment. But anyway, so the Dynasty come out. Big talking point, big sticking point has been Randy Orton. So Randy Orton walks out with the Dynasty, and Triple H comes out and goes, you know what, we're just going to go right to the point because that's what the Dynasty is all about. I know what everyone's thinking. No, Randy Orton isn't part of the Dynasty. Randy Orton isn't part of our little, team here to bring WWE to the forefront of the entertainment world. At least he wasn't then, but now he is. And then they all start shaking hands like, goobers, like, yay. and Triple H goes, no, I know what immediately Kofi Kingston is going to say, that we lied to him. And to that, I have only one response. He's an idiot. Kofi, I'm Triple H, the game. That's the Miz. Randy Orton is literally called the Viper. His move his catchphrase is out of nowhere. How did you not see any of this coming? Granted, I don't expect Randy Orton of all people would do it, but how did you not figure we would have something planned out? This is pro wrestling after all. Pro wrestling, despite the fact that we want to make sports entertainment, we know for a fact is not all about just getting in the ring and wrestling. It's a bunch more factors than that, and apparently you just failed to really comprehend that. How do you not expect us to cheat to win? It doesn't matter who wins or who loses as long as we're on top. It's fairly standard WWE right now. And, it's honestly kind of embarrassing on your part, Kofi. I can't understand how you can even fall for that. But regardless, we don't got to worry about you anymore. You can't get this title as long as Miz is champion anymore. We got that settled. So let's cut to the real meat and potatoes. We have John Morrison. Now, John Morrison winning King of the Ring was a fault of ours by technicality, and the Big Show will face punishment for that. Big Show looks pissed off this whole promo, and Triple H goes, well, I've talked with Miz. The Miz doesn't talk, and it's kind of like the key point is like maybe you want to hear some Miz promos, but so far Miz isn't talking. And Triple H, he keeps going on. He's like, John Morrison, the fact that he won King of the Ring is not that really important in the long run of things. The Miz already embarrassed John Morrison at WrestleMania, so that's already done with. But even regardless, he stands no chance. We run Raw. Raw is our show. There's literally no other person that can claim as much power on Raw as he can. We're just fucking shoving our middle fingers into Steve Austin's face. And as of that, I have booked, though, to get on back on that point, we have booked a punishment match for the Big Show. The Big Show will defend his title against Yujiro Takahashi. Big Show didn't want to agree to it, but you know what? It's not really his choice. So we'll have to just work that out. And I'm confident that the Big Show can take this victory. And the Big Show nods. Dynasty's like, all right, peace out, bitches. And he doesn't say peace out, bitches, but, they just walk out. They're done. So the Dynasty are already, they kind of looked like idiots, kind of, at King of the Ring, but they're still holding their heads in high regard, considering the fact that The Miz still has the big prize on Raw, the WWE title. And actually, we have our first match of the evening, in which Katie Lee and Astrid go one-on-one, and Katie Lee actually gets the win on Astrid in 16:02 with a blood mist. So Katie Lee kind of avenging the loss there and taking a win to Astrid in the process. So good to see the good guys kind of come out for once in their lives. The heels can't always win, if you know what I mean. Although I have kind of booked like that. Shh, don't talk about that. And next we have a sensational tag team, about two tag teams that couldn't get the big one, but they're going off in because they always get good ratings, and I like to cheese the ratings, also just because I like these tag teams together. Ingame take on the Kings of Wrestling, and Ingame pick up the win when Kevin Steen hits Antonio Cesaro with the package pile driver, 96 A-star, always good stuff. And then we have Sabin and Shelley. They're watching from the back, and they're like, wow, that was really impressive. Guess what? We beat them both twice. It's like, great tag team match. Don't get us wrong, but we just beat them last night in a greater match because we were in it. And on Raw here, we're kind of annoyed that this is happening. We've constantly run into teams that we can beat. So, we talked to the fake general manager, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the guy that really has no power. And we decided that we were going to take a trip to SmackDown, and we were going to investigate the tag team scene, see how things are doing there, kind of get a scope, if you will, of how good the scene is over there. And maybe, just maybe, we might find somebody that actually poses a challenge to the Motor City Machine's reign. And then they peace out, and we cut to commercial back from there. So the Motor City Machine Guns will be making an appearance on SmackDown to find some worthy tag team contenders for their titles. And next we have Kofi Kingston's weird-ass sit-down interview. We kind of hyped this up before that, in which Michael Cole, he's asking Kofi Kingston some questions. He's like, what are your thoughts on what the Dynasty said? The Miz, Randy Orton, all that. And Kofi Kingston really doesn't say anything. He just kind of stands there and just kind of looks off. And then this goes on for like 5 minutes. And Michael Cole's pissed off. He's like, you going to say anything? And then he just walks off. And that's the end of that. And we don't see him again. It's Kofi Kingston obviously taking some of that to heart. Maybe Triple H was right. Like, you got to imagine, when you have a match against the Miz, Triple H, like that kind of team, some shenanigans are going to go down. You can't expect a fight like that to be actually fair. And next we have a decent match between Chris Jericho and Alex Riley, but after 6 minutes, the match absolutely descends into chaos because the Shield come down. Like, imagine, Alex Riley getting some offense, and he's like, yeah, my name's Alex Riley, and then Roman Reigns spears the fuck out of him. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose start beating the shit out of everybody. Usual shenanigans. Gimmick thing. I keep doing these gimmick things, not realizing them. Above average. Always good to see him get a good rating. But then Stone Cold comes down, brother. The GM, the fake GM, Master Motor City Machines called him, comes down to the ring, and he starts beating the shit out of the Shield. And I have to imagine he saved Chris Jericho, but it takes him a bit to save Alex Riley. Like, he really doesn't care about Alex Riley. No one gives a shit about Alex Riley. But, as they're beating the shit out of him, he's like, yeah, I guess not. So he sends the Shield ring, and Stone Cold himself looks pretty pissed off. Obviously the words, they cut deep. I'll name this episode Words Cut Deep. That'll be the theme of this episode. Because everyone's talking some mad shit, apparently. Next segment, please. So then we have John Morrison, the King of the Ring winners, walking around. He's got big dick energy on him, and he cuts a short promo. Basically, we're gonna have a rematch tonight as our main event versus Bray Wyatt. And we have he talks about the Miz. Miz is just kind of there. He's like, I'm not worried about beating the Miz. I've done it once before. I beat him for a title once before with the U.S. title on Raw 1000. a stage almost as big as WrestleMania. But I'm going to avenge that loss anyway and take the even bigger prize from Wade and Bray Wyatt. Well, I beat him last night. Might as well do it again. Get ready for that. And then we have an 88 plus. We have the Tokyo Pimp Yujiro Takahashi. The Yujiro Takahashi actually defeats the Big Show when he spears the Big Show. I just realized that. My God, he spears the motherfucker. I imagine it's like a Goldberg. He should just like Goldberg. Not, I want to say jackknife powerbomb. Yeah, fuck it. He jackknife powerbombs the Big Show and wins back his United States title. So the Big Show, obviously, age is getting up there on the guy, so he's not, that great. But this match did really better than I thought it would with an 88 B plus. Meltzer gave it 4 stars, as you can see there. So not all things are lost on this episode of Monday Night Raw. And then we kind of have a cool-down match in which we have Brodus Clay kind of, getting beaten the shit out of by Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett looks kind of pissed off, and he looks that way, especially after the match. He's just acting like a weenie. The other members of England's finest try to comfort him, tell him that he's not an actual weenie, but, they kind of don't really do any good in that area, and they just kind of walk off for the sake of walking off. So, something's going on with Wade Barrett. Will we ever figure out? No, probably not. And then we put up after the commercial break, we will see the main event, John Morrison taking on Bray Wyatt. That match, pre-booking, no, fuck you. 80, oh, dang it. I forgot to have, Daniel Bryan was supposed to come in, so let's imagine Daniel Bryan came out for a second and he interrupted the match. But John Morrison does put away Bray Wyatt. With the Starship Pain, proving that he is indeed the good king of the ring that everyone wants him to be. But it's not more about that, it's what happens next. Basically, everyone and their mother comes out and starts beating the crap out of each other. The Miz and Triple H. Big Show obviously not that happy about losing his United States title, or as the picture verifies, he has stolen the belt. He hasn't actually stolen the belt. Kofi Kingston runs down. He's definitely not happy. Jericho runs down. Randy Orton's there. And then Stone Cold comes out, and after all this violence breaks out, everyone kind of just stops and is like, you know what? Next pay-per-view, Survivor Series. And Triple H is like, yeah, I agree. Dynasty versus Team Stone Cold Steve Austin. The winner, full control over Raw. You're going to be banished from Raw if you don't win. And Stone Cold's like, no, I'm not going to agree to that. That's kind of fucking stupid if I were to do that. And then Triple H is like, well, I'm the CEO of WWE, so I can just make the match anyway. And Swan's like, yeah, you got a good point. So everyone just kind of is like, yeah, agrees to fight each other at Survivor Series. So Survivor Series, the main Survivor Series match is set Team Dynasty versus Team Stone Cold Steve Austin. The winner takes full control over Raw or whatever. So we're going to end the show there. We get a 92A. The main event probably kind of killed the rating a bit, but overall I was surprised by how well the show was received. The match that really surprised me was the Yujiro Big Show match. The match doesn't usually get too good ratings. As well as I was kind of surprised with the Jericho Riley. I've never done the kind of ending in chaos kind of thing, so I thought there would have been a bigger penalty for that. But overall, very good episode of Monday Raw. I will see you guys for the next episode of SmackDown, the Go Home SmackDown